Hey guys, welcome to another Learning with Lumi series. In this episode, we're going to talk about 5 ways to instantly improve your game drastically. It doesn't matter whether you are a beginner or if you've been playing Dota for 6 or 7 years. You're going to improve your Dota game. This sounds like one of those infomercials. If you call now, you get 3 more tips. Now, here's the 5 tips. Tip number 1, buy TP scrolls. Unless you have a breach of travel or is maxing out item in a very late game situation, there's no reason not to have this item. For a mere 135 gold, TP scroll allows you to defend towers, gank, counter gank, ninja escape ganks, and find that juicy creep wave in another lane to farm. Carrying 1 TP scroll is a must, and sometimes you probably even want to carry 2 or more, especially if you don't plan to access the size drops. But having a TP scroll doesn't mean you should always immediately use it. Because TP scrolls have such a long cooldown, sometimes it's better for heroes to actually just walk towards a lane and have the TP ready on cooldown and help out the other lanes when necessary. Heroes such as Earthshaker, Invoker, or any heroes that has really good counter ganking spells could actually use this to their advantage. In the rare case that you and your pub teammates actually have TPs, coordinate those TPs and defend towers and do counter ganks. TP is one of the most game-changing items in the game, and again, it's only for 135 gold, so learn to use it well and also use it very frequently. Speaking of TPs, the second tip is going to be talking about the shift keys. Don't forget that you could use your shift keys and issue immediate commands. Shift basically tells the computer to perform a queued action after the first action is finished. So basically, if you're TPing with shift keys, you click the TP, you click the tower, you shift, and then you right click immediately to issue whatever you want to do. This can also be used with items and spells. Shift have many other specific uses as well. Some include shift purchase from side shop, shift to pick up runes and keep on moving, shift to tangle through trees and keep on moving. If you're jungling with summons, you could use shift on your summons to attack one neutral creep, focus fire, and then shift command to attack the next neutral creep. And then you could use this time to look elsewhere on the map. Here's a couple more examples. If you shift cast a spell after TPing your tower, your spell will be casted and the fountain regen will still be intact and recover some of your mana. Or some heroes such as Sand King, you have to actually play the hero with shift dagger to queue up the epicenter. So there's a lot of specific examples, but generally shift keys shave off very precious seconds to make your heroes move faster or give you more time to look at other portions of the map. Speaking of spending time to look at other portions of the map, number 3 point here is going to be the map awareness or inventory awareness. It is very important in the game of Dota for you to be constantly aware. A lot of people tell you, hey, you gotta be aware of the minimap, you have to have map awareness, which basically means you have to know whether enemy heroes are missing and are coming to gank you or your teammates. Having wards up on the map will help you increase your map vision, but even without wards, it becomes even more important to check out heroes for the brief moment that they show up on the minimap. A huge part of minimap awareness comes from awareness of enemies' inventory. A while back, I got a chance to talk to ex-MYM players, Mania and Pusher, and they tell me that the thing they constantly check on while they're going to gank is whether the support heroes on the other side of the map actually have the TP scroll to counter gank. Dota is a very much so game about information, and the more information you have about the enemy team, you're going to have a higher chance of winning the fights and winning the ganks and whatever else. When you're playing against better players, seeing TP scrolls, smoke of deceits, the wards, number of wards have changed from the last time you checked, or such as key items like Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade, BKB Hex. All of these things that you see should send signals to you to react accordingly. As you get better and better, you could take advantage of the enemy based on what you see. So for example, if you see a smoke of deceit on Ursa and Roshan is still alive, well, guess what he's gonna do, right? You could take advantage of that knowledge and set up some ganks on Ursa or on Roshan. Speaking of Roshan, the number 4 point here is time stamping or time awareness. Now again, awareness, a lot of times we talk about minimap awareness, but the awareness of time is very important as well. And Roshan is one of the most important thing to point out when talking about the game clock. How many times your teammate asks you, is like, when did they do Rosh? And you're not really sure yourself. Well, next time you type it down in ally chat, and then you can go back to the chat and check it whenever you need to. Time awareness isn't simply limited to Roshan. There's a lot of other aspects that could influence ganking, jungling, and team fights as well. For example, if you see enemy carry that just TP to the top lane, you know that TP scroll has such a long cooldown. That means that you could go for a Roshan attempt or a tower push and then fight 5v4 because their enemy TP'd away. Or if you know the Heist Ravage has a 150-second cooldown and he just used it 1 minute ago, then you could have a pretty good time to actually force a team fight. And again, it's a 5v4 situation, even if Ty's really in the fight, right? If you're jungling and notice that the clock is turning near 51-second mark, hey, you have the opportunity to go for a pull and go stack your creep wave and basically double your goal. Really good players are the ones that take advantage of the fact that, hey, nighttime lasts 6 minutes when you're playing against Night Stalker. Our runes will spawn every 2 minutes, so it's time to start pushing once we approach that even minute mark. All those things are very small knowledge, but all these small advantages are the ones that determine whether you get a successful gank with a powerful rune, or a team fight against the enemy team when one of their heroes' ultimate is on cooldown, or doubling your gold when you're jungling Ancients. All of these small differences make a huge impact as you spiral down towards mid and late game. And speaking of spiraling down towards your mid and late game, the final tip about instantly improving your play is to have fun. Yes, I know I talked about intense microing, heavy awareness on time, inventory, and minimap and everything like that. But sometimes, you just gotta relax, you gotta chill. Dota, at the end of the day, is a game. And it's not really worth it to swear at your friends and his 9 generation of families. I don't need to quote scientific studies to tell you that if you're happier, you most likely play better. If you're in a foul mood, then your performance also declines. It's definitely hard to keep a positive attitude when Dota is full of very competitive players. And I don't really mean like, don't care about your game and have fun throwing it and ruining it for your teammates and things like that. But I mean just to be a nice guy. If someone asks you what item he should get, the answer is generally not, your mom or Dagon 5. If you treat other people nicely, then it's likely that they will treat you nicely as well. And, everyone's going to have fun and you're going to have a good game. Most people that are successful in things that they do also enjoy what they do. So these are the 5 tips to instantly improve your game. If you've been doing, a couple of these things already, you could definitely do more. You could definitely check more on items. You could be more aware on cooldown. You could be more aware on where the heroes are, how many wards they have. You could do way more than you're already doing. If you're just starting out as a beginning player and all of these, like, oh man, that's a lot of information, I feel overloaded. Don't worry, just try it in one of your next games. Just pick one of these 5 and try it out, and keep it up in a couple games. And maybe after a couple games, you're like, okay, I have TP score all the time now. Let's try out to hey, let's start using my shift key, or let's start checking out enemies' inventory items. It's a small gradual step, even if you're a beginner. Here's a bonus tip for watching all the way in the end, and this is really important because it works 100% of the time. If you subscribe to LuminousInverse, I hear that your Dota power level goes over 9k and you become like Insta-Gosu. Just kidding, guys. But if you really like this video and found it helpful, you could really help me by sending it to your friends and asking them to watch it, or posting on forums and things like that. That will be really helpful for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys learned something as well. And as always, this is Luminous signing off. GG, guys.